Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Wellness Wednesday here on the Lotus Lounge podcast. My name is Uma. This is season 1, episode 6. And today we have our special guest, Donya Smida. So,
Hello.
hi, Donya. Donya is an Authority Magazine featured stress management and leadership coach. She's an experienced international corporate executive, recognized for her leadership in steering teams and managing multi-million-dollar projects with notable success. Donya is also the country chair for work-life balance in the G100 organization. She is passionate about empowering both entrepreneurs and senior managers. Donya is committed to helping them build their businesses and dream careers in harmony with their personal lives, rather than the other way around. Through her powerful coaching programs, she equips them with the tools and strategies to achieve efficiency and clarity. Welcome in, Donya. We're so happy to have you here with us.
Thank you. And really, I'm so happy to be with you today in the podcast. Also, something important I didn't mention, I'm a mom of 3. So big up to all the moms that have so many things to do.
Yeah, we definitely, big up to the moms. I like that she did that little shout out. I think that's the biggest, hardest job out of everything else that you listed, being a mom.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being here on the podcast. We like to talk about health and wellness topics in this podcast because I feel that we're getting to this point where we're just working hard, and we're not really working well. We're not living well. And I like to interview people that could give us some ideas that can make our lives better. And I know today we talked about the topic of stress because stress, I believe, is one of the top 5 killers of people in the world today, right? Is the fact that we keep getting people that are just overworked, overexhausted, or sick. So, what are your thoughts about stress, Donya? Do you feel it's a big factor in lessening the quality of life for everyone?
Definitely. We don't have to underestimate stress because, at some periods in our career, or people want to say that stress is fancy. When you're stressed, it means you're important. When you're stressed, it means you have an important job. When you're stressed, it means you have so many things, so you are important, but this is not true, because stress, of course, we are all stressed somehow, but the most important is how to manage it. It will come up in the street, at your job, at home, wherever you are. There are triggers everywhere. You cannot get rid of it.
Yeah.
So when you can manage it, then you will be able to live the best life and really perform better.
Yes. What do you feel is the number one reason your clients give you or people give you as to why they're not handling their stress?
We always have the tendency to accuse the outside, the environment. The environment is stressing me. Traffic is stressing me. The election are stressing me. Finances, clients, whatever reason. But we always have to see why those reasons are stressing me in particular, because what stresses me is not what's stressing you. So there must be something else that is really making the stress out of us. And it's something that really people hate when I tell them. And also it was a lesson for me. The bigger stressor is ourselves. Of course, there are so many triggers, but what stresses us is ourselves. And this is life-changing when we accept it and we work on it.
Wow. So Masterpiece said, stress, like many things, often gets blamed on the outside, like feelings. For example, you made me feel such and such. And I think you're kind of like saying that as well, right? Is that we're the ones that are creating this stress in our lives. So what suggestions or tips do you have for people who have a stressful lifestyle and they want to do better?
Exactly. So the first is always questioning. Why is this trigger stressing me? In the example that you just stated, it might be that another person is stressing me. So what is it exactly that that person is doing? What part of me is getting stressed because of the behavior of the other person? We have to accept that our brain is always telling us stories. It's him, it's her, it's the client, it's the traffic, it's the money. But what does it really do inside us and triggers? What is the thing that is not healed inside us that is touched by it? And you know, each person has a map that how to see the world. And this, you all know, we have education, all the experience that you have in life, they will give us a map, how we see the world. And the more we are stressed, the more we are in autopilot, and this condition will condition our life and how we get stressed. So I will give examples in order to understand all that.
Okay.
Let's say you're this kind of person since childhood. Your mother, your father, your environment is telling you, you have to hurry. You are always behind. You have to hurry because this and this. You have to help your brothers and sisters. You have to put the needs of others before your own needs.
Correct.
And this will shape your personality. In case of stress, you will always act as you have to help others and you forget about yourself. It's a kind of personality that you will have. And with time, it will be you. You are always this people pleaser, for example. So what happens? You will please everybody, you forget about yourself, and then you don't have time to do your own things, and then you get stressed. So it's very important to understand what is the kind of beliefs that you have inherited that will trigger and make you more stressed. And then you can work on that belief in order to release the stress because of your partner or whatever it is. So imagine you are the kind of person that is wanting to please everybody, everyone, and so on. And you are partnering with another person that is always wanted perfect things, let's say. So you both stress each other because he has a map and you have another map. Mm-hmm. So what is important is to identify what inside you makes you this person in order to get rid of certain beliefs. And also what is very important is to understand why the other person is stressing you in particular. So you will work on you, not to get stressed by this kind of people.
Wow. So there's so many things that you talked about that I wanted to like address on, because I know for myself, I'm one of those people that do very good at having self-care, right? And I notice sometimes people almost feel mad at me because I put myself first, right? Is that like a normal thing for people that were raised to please other people, right? And then when they see people taking care of themselves, is it fair to say that they judge that person and say, oh, they're selfish, right? Because that's the thing that we say in the world. If you take care of yourself, you're selfish, right?
Yes. So I'm very happy that you take the time to take care of yourself. Because imagine if you were the kind of person saying that I want to please people, mm-hmm. So I cannot take the time to please myself and to take care of myself because I need to put the others before. So this will also stress you and overwhelm you because you're not aligned with what you need to do. So this is exactly what I meant with, if you understand how the other person is functioning, maybe the person saying that you are selfish, maybe they have like the map or the beliefs that they have to hurry, they have to please others, and so on. So your behavior will stress them. Maybe they're waiting something from you, and you tell them, no, sorry, I have now my self-care hour, let's say. So this will stress them. So it goes in both ways. You might be the stressor for another person.
That's very true. Masterpiece
But
said,
you know, at the end of the day, those are triggers. The person stresses her or himself anyway. They have to work on themselves without trying to change others.
got it. Hi, Beth. Beth, welcome in. She said, stress is my middle name. Masterpiece said, I agree with you on your view of self-analysis as self-care. I never thought about it that way, and I actually like that. Self-analysis as self-care. Do you think that's a big thing that we need to all focus on?
I love it, because for me, self-analysis does not mean necessarily criticizing oneself. It's really to understand what I do now. For example, when I'm in a traffic and because I'm the kind of person that I need to be on time, whatever happens.
Right.
So now I learned. So that's why traffic stresses me so much. It's not about the cars. It's just because I understood that I'm the kind of person, if I'm not on time, it's a disaster. So
right.
I had to learn that. So yes, self-analysis is a self-care in itself, but don't blame yourself. Don't criticize yourself. Just ask the question to understand and then work on it without blaming. This is the most important. And to answer to the second name, which is stress, yes, we are all stressed, but the most important is to manage it, because it will have a repercussion not only on the emotional, but it can be on your health. And like you said, Uma, at the beginning, stress is a source or a reason of death, which is very important. I don't have the statistics, but I know that it's a very important factor for health problems.
Definitely.
So don't underestimate.
Yeah, people need to take this. I have a friend, Eli, on streams, and we keep yelling at him because he's in his 50s and he works like 12 hours a day. I mean, he works all the time. He works 2 jobs, and we keep telling him, like, you gotta take some time out just to relax, just to be, because it doesn't make any sense. Masterpiece said, correct, separate self-judgment from actual state. You know, it's one of my beliefs that our self-judgment is the worst thing we can do. It's like the number one sin is self-judgment. What do you feel about that?
Oh, I had, it hurt me even physically when you said that, because we are our worst enemy. And this, I mean, it's easy to say, but still, even if you are very advanced in your journey, in self-development, in whatever you want, we still catch ourselves saying bad things about ourselves.
Right.
And this is the direct counterproductive things that you can do. The first, yes.
Yeah. Masterpiece said, I've been working hard on my own carried judgments last year. Yeah, we have to be better about the way we judge ourselves. You know, it's not a healthy habit, and it just makes things worse. Welcome in, everyone. This is Wellness Wednesday here with Donya Smida. She is a stress management coach. If you guys have any questions for her, now is the time to ask the questions. I will read it out loud, whether you're watching from TikTok, I'm sorry, Meet Me, Plenty of Fish, or Facebook. We're happy to have you guys here. Ooh. Okay, I just thought I lost my
And Uba, I want to say something about your friend who's working 12 hours a day.
Yes.
You know, not only we are looking at the health and the wellness aspect of stress management, but working 12 hours, being stressed, maybe if he can manage the stress and take time for himself, maybe he needs to work less and do the same amount. So productivity is also an effect of managing stress. Sometimes because we are stressed, So we don't judge the situation as we should judge it. We don't have the full picture, and then we work more. So the more we are stressed, the more we work, the less results we have. So we enter also in a vicious circle. We have a tendency to think self-care, we will lose time. But on the contrary, we might lose 1 hour not working on our job or revenue generating things. But at the end of the day, maybe we don't need to work that hard to have the same results if we are really focused and with less stress. So it has also an impact if some people don't care about their health or they don't care about their emotions. Don't forget, they might be less effective because of stress.
That does make sense. Because I always say, like, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. Because if I don't want to do something, it will take me 4 hours to do, as opposed to when I want to do it, and it'll take me 30 minutes, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that happens.
So if you want to have also insights on those beliefs that we have and the personality that we find when we are stressed, there are lots of techniques also to get rid of those beliefs and all those stories. I really love hypnotherapy because it goes directly to the unconscious part of us. And for me, the unconscious is really how we see the world and how we advance in life.
So you meant
Do you
hypnotherapy, right? I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes,
she's talking about hypnotherapy, guys. Go ahead. So tell us a little bit about hypnotherapy.
So I like to give the image of, imagine your ant, this small animal, it's ant called, right? So imagine you an ant and you go right and left and you want to change the world and you do so many things, but still you are going straight. You still see that you're going the same direction. You want to go, still you make so many effort to go here and there, but still you have the impression that you're going straight. And you found out as an ant that you are on the back of an elephant and the elephant is going in one direction. So I like to say that this ant is the conscious mind, while the elephant is the subconscious or the unconscious mind. That means that the unconscious mind has already a direction. This mind is shaped according to the beliefs, the stories, all the things that we have since our childhood. And then we have this conscious mind who wants to go here, who wants to build a business, who wants to do that. But in order to do major changes, we have to go to that subconscious mind and tell them to change the direction. And for me, hypnotherapy is something that allows us to go to the subconscious part of us and puts seeds in order to change it and to go to the direction we want. So this is in a nutshell how I describe hypnotherapy.
I love it because I am a certified hypnotherapist and I agree with
her.
Oh,
nice.
1000%. Masterpiece said, what do you think about NLP for subconscious work? Because he's a practitioner.
Yes, there are so many techniques. And of course, there are, I don't know, so many things. I can speak about hypnotherapy because I use it. I know I have a lot of coaches that use NLP and they're very good as well. So
yeah,
he is the expert in this. And if he uses this, I believe it's also very useful for him and his clients.
Yeah, I do. I do like NLP, Masterpiece. I didn't know you were a practitioner, so that's amazing. And I agree because the way I describe hypnotherapy is like that, you know, that iceberg that sunk the Titanic, right?
Oh, yes.
Your conscious mind is like that little piece, the little top of the iceberg that's sitting in the water. That is your conscious mind. It's like 15% of what you think about. and then that big mass of ice under the water that the boat did not see, that crashed into the, the iceberg, and it made a hole and it sunk the Titanic. 85% of your thoughts are coming from your subconscious. So I really like that you talked about, if you're stressed, maybe 85% of what you're stressing yourself out about might be coming from your subconscious mind. So what can people do, right? In terms of handling those subconscious fears or things that stress them out so that they can have less stress in their lives?
Yes. So you have hypnotherapy where you really go and switch the belief. There are also techniques like Socrates questioning. That means you can also out loud start to express the belief. Let's say, in my case, it's the belief that I'm not native English, maybe I cannot coach, whatever, and so on. So let's imagine I say out loud, I cannot coach because I'm not native in English. So I'll ask myself, do you really believe this? And then I will say, yes, I believe this. Why do you believe that? And after I go on and on until I hit a point where I say, actually, I don't like this belief anymore. So I will ask you, with what belief do you want to change it? So the exercise I give to all listeners is to express out loud the first belief. Why do you believe it? Does this belief really help you? And then change the belief. But don't be ashamed to just speak like a crazy person in front of the mirror or in the car. You have to do that out loud. Don't leave it in your brain. Just express it out loud. So this is what we call the Socrates questioning. There is what if up. So usually people, what if it goes wrong? What if I lose this? What if I don't have money for my education of the kids? What if, always down. So do the exact exercise in the opposite. Take your belief. In my example, speaking in front of people in a language that is not my mother tongue. And then I'll say, okay, what if it goes very well? What if people will interact? And then I build this up emotion in me. So I really get excited after a certain point and say, wow, I have to do this. I have to go there. So the idea here is really to put yourself in this excitement with the what if up, not down. Hypnotherapy, I said, maybe there's also some other technique I like, is to change the narrative. It's really to imagine another you, not stressed in this situation. What will be another person do without stress? Mm-hmm. And then write it down. Imagine that you are this new person, this other you, not stressed, or not having this limiting belief. This is also, I mean, not a lot of people, they take the time, they understand what I say, or they read so many things or so many techniques, but they don't apply. So if you learn without applying, you didn't learn. So really take one of the techniques that you feel more aligned with and go for it. Do the exercise, write down the things.
That's amazing. Welcome in, guys. If you have any questions for Donya, she is a stress management coach, and she's giving us some great tips on how to manage stress in your life. I think those unconscious beliefs, you giving those ideas are so welcoming. And I have a question. Could we maybe use some of your suggestions in a specific environment? Like the majority of people, right, are stressed about money. They're stressed about finances, right? What can you suggest? Like going over the things that we talked about, maybe give us some actual pointers or examples of how you would use those techniques for, let's say you have someone who's a man or a woman, and they have kids and they have bills and they have they're stressed because the money coming in is not as much as they would like, and they're just always wondering about where we're going to get money for the next thing. How would you address, like, say, a client like that?
Okay, for me, the first thing is, do you believe that you are worth receiving money?
Ah, so you start right at the core of it. Do you
Oh,
are
I
worth it?
also went through all this. So there's, how do you say, you have to go into the core of the problem. Because I also said, oh no, maybe my offers are too high. No, I started here. But at the end, you go down. Do you believe, or why you believe that you will not receive the money? Maybe you think people receiving money are, not good people, or those that have money are evil, or money is not happiness. You have to find all the beliefs that you have around money. This is for me the first step. Because we always hear a story about money, right? It can be the father saying, hey, I'm not Rockefeller. Or the mother told you, you have to work hard in order to earn money. You have to identify all the stories that you have around money. You have to clear them. And then you have to do the technique that I have told you about the narrative. Imagine another you always receiving the money, not being in the lack, but being in the abundance. Feeling the abundance before receiving it. And this is what is the most difficult, is how to feel good before the results. It's not the result that will bring the feeling, it's the feeling that will bring the result. So I like really to invent stories. In my case, I invented myself being a known coach, having so and so on. And now I believe it so much. I'm so convinced of it, even if it's maybe not true in all the points, but I'm convinced it's this, the reality. So already the first step is to get rid of this negative emotion around money, because if we are stressed of lack, then we'll have lack.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's about changing your beliefs at your core beliefs at your inner root, right? About how you feel about money is the first step that Donya is saying. And then also it's about, you have to feel it before it comes in. That's definitely a law of attraction move, because as a law of attraction,
yes,
the techniques.
It is law of attraction mode, but also it means you have to get rid of the negative emotion anyway.
Correct.
So it serves, for me, it serves in two things. First, it will bring you money because this attraction. And second, you will feel better and it will not stress you. And maybe when you are feeling better, you will have more ideas, because as we said earlier, feeling this stress and being stuck in this vicious circle will not allow you to be creative, will not allow you to be innovative. So it will deserve you anyway to be in this lack, even from the emotional point of view.
That's very true. All right. Do we have any questions for our stress management coach here today? I think everybody's just listening. They're they're so taken by what you're saying, and it's all very, very good and helpful information. So, Donya, I want to thank you so much for being a guest here.
Thank you for your time. And if any question, just address them to me or to you, and I would be happy to respond.
Absolutely. Could you just, before we sign off, can you just let people know if they want to get in contact with you? What are your social media sites? I will put them, of course, in the podcast information, but just for anybody listening, how can they get a hold of you?
So you can find me on LinkedIn, and I think Uma will post the link, as well as Facebook. I have pages, so whatever works best for you. and I respond very quickly on both.
Awesome. Thank you so much again for your time, and I will be in touch.